Hi, my name is Yash. In the last 2 years, we saw over 200 EB1A petitions being filed. And this is what I learned about the EB1A. The EB1 classification is an immigrant employment-based green card classification. The 1 in EB1 stands for first preference. That means that you get to have the priority. This also means that EB1 class is much better in many cases than the EB2 and EB3. In terms of priority, you will see that your visa will get processed faster. For many countries like India and China, there's a massive backlog for EB2 and EB3, whereas for EB1, the backlogs are relatively short. The EB1 is not just given to anyone and everyone. It is an extraordinary ability visa. In the field of sciences, education, business, arts, or athletics, you need to demonstrate your extraordinary ability to be able to qualify for this visa. Now, the EB1 visa generally has 3 classifications. Those are EB1A, B, and C. However, only EB1A is self-petitioned. That's the class that we're going to be talking about in today's video. Some of the advantages, as you may already know, are that the visa is self-sponsored, so you don't really need to run behind your employer to get sponsorship. Another major advantage is that you do not need to go through the PERM certification process, so you save a lot of your time in the process. Also, as I mentioned, EB1 is the fastest green card on the basis of employment. The major perks of the EB1 green card would be that you can live, work, study in the US unlimited. You can start a business. You can sponsor your spouse, children. Everyone gets a green card with you at the same time if you already have those people around, or they can get one later once you actually get married. You can even stay in the US unemployed, literally. That's the beauty of the green card. It may just be exactly what you're looking for if you're facing issues in immigration. Let's talk about the EB1A eligibility. Now, you can potentially do something like this. You can show a one-time major achievement in your field of the level of an Oscar or Nobel Prize. If you have something as big as that in your field, you can just get the EB1A green card with that. Now hold on, most people in the world watching this video will not have this, and hence I want to let you know that the EB1A green card can still be achieved, and you just need to satisfy 3 out of these 10 criteria. Number 1, if you receive some nationally or internationally recognized awards in your field, you could talk about those. These may not be of the level of an Oscar, but may be important in your field. If you have certain exclusive memberships given to you on the basis of your merit, you can use those. If you had some media coverage, some press publishing done about you or how your work is impacting your industry, you could use that. If you have judged the work of others, had contributions of major significance to your field, or had authorship of major research papers of importance, basically with the ones with a lot of citations, all of this can actually be used as a part of your EB1A petition. If your work is displayed at artistic exhibitions or showcases, or if you have a critical role in your current organization and your employer is very supportive. If you have a high salary in your field for your designation in your location as compared to the other people doing the same thing that you're doing, you could use that. And in certain cases, if you've had some commercial successes in performing arts, you could also use that. Once you actually compile all of this evidence and attach all of this in a 100-200 page file which shows all of the proof in a systematic manner, you are actually ready to petition for the EB1A. Now, believe it or not, meeting 3 out of these 10 criteria is not that tough. For most cases, if you actually start building up a profile, you may actually be able to meet more than these 3 pointers as well, and then you can petition, and even USCIS might agree that you are meeting 3 or more pointers. However, there's still a second round that most people don't know about, and this is called as the Final Merit Determination, or FMD. This is where they compare you against all the other people who are successfully getting their EB1A. And they check whether you have enough acclaim, quantitatively at least, to compete with those people. And hence, this is also the reason why we like to go with, instead of 3, at least 4 or 5 pointers while petitioning for the EB1A. Remember, if the USCIS officers reviewing your case find you to fall short, they can issue you a request for evidence or an RFE, which basically just means that the adjudicating officer needs more information on your case to actually issue you this visa. Not all RFEs are bad, and it simply does not mean that your petition is rejected just because you got an RFE. RFEs can be very detailed, and they will explain exactly how the officer tried to judge your case and where they could not understand whether you are essentially good enough for the EB1A. In my experience, RFEs can be of 2 kinds. The first is a soft RFE, where the officer just needs some sort of documentation or some sort of statistic from you, which will help them give you the green light. Or it could be a hard RFE, which basically means that your petition is in danger and you're not even meeting 3 points properly as per the officer. And then you have to sort of fight them over it and make sure that you win. But please keep in mind, when you petition and you get an RFE, in many times, if you respond with the right kind of a response, you might actually still end up getting an approval. In my experience of hundreds of applications, I can tell you that 1 in 4 people almost always see an RFE. Let's talk about some frequently asked questions. So number 1, what if you have an accrued I-140 for an EB2 or EB3 visa petition already? Can you use your priority date from those petitions? The answer is yes. This concept is called porting, and you don't necessarily need to do anything for the porting. You can just recycle that priority date without actually impacting the EB2 or EB3 petition. All of this, by the way, is automatically done by the USCIS. Next, how long can you stay in the US on an EB1 visa? Well, the visa is given to you for 10 years and you can keep on extending it after that for 10 years each. But basically, it's permanent residence. You can stay as long as you want. Next, can I bring my family with me? Yes, you can bring your spouses and your children with you. Can I apply for the EB1 if I'm already in the US? The answer is yes. Whether you're outside or inside the US, you can petition in both the scenarios. Next, what are the filing fees? The standard fee is $715, but if you pay the premium to basically get the process done faster, the additional fee is $2,805 as of today. That brings us to the next obvious question. What are the timelines? Well, the standard timeline is between 4 to 8 months on an average. This can vary on a case-by-case basis. However, if you go with the premium timeline, that's only 15 calendar days. Remember that this is the timeline for an I-140. Even if you get it approved, there may be a backlog for your country due to a lot of applications coming in, and you still may need to wait out the backlog. Can mistakes in the documentation get you a rejection? The answer is absolutely. You will not realize how many times I have actually seen this happen just because of a minor mistake in the application. The applicant has had to re-petition. Although an RFE is sometimes your savior, where you can actually present additional evidence, in many cases, you might just end up getting a notice of intent to deny if you fail to submit proper documentation even in an RFE. Hence, make sure you work with someone who's done this before. Your attorneys will be useful over here. Now understand what you're thinking. That's a lot. Maybe you just feel like you're extremely unqualified for the EB1. However, understand that none of us are born with this. Everyone builds up their profile. And with the right kind of profile building, you might be eligible in the next 1 year only. Remember, to check your EB1A eligibility for free, you can check out my WhatsApp number in the description, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at your profile and let you know whether you qualify. You can send me your resume on the WhatsApp number below. I'll do my best to give you as much information as possible for free. Also, you can sign up on YMGrad.com. A lot of people are using this platform that we built specifically for you so that you can connect and work with people on building your profile together for visas like the O1 and EB1. Remember that once you sign up on YMGrad, you also get the EB1A cheat sheet delivered to your email, so you can actually use that as well. And that's everything you needed to know about the EB1A. You can find me on Instagram if you need, and you can subscribe to the channel over here. It will help me make more such videos for you. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and take care. Until next time.